In grade 7, we were asked to write an essay with a new and original idea about almost anything. So I wrote 2 pages arguing that world peace might be brought about by universal adherence to the 10 Commandments. These are not necessarily principles that I would espouse today, but hey, this was grade 7, and at the time I thought this was at the very least a nifty idea. My mother, who was rather skimpy when it came to praise, was unusually impressed, so much so that she issued a strange and unexpected warning. "Don't tell anyone about this, David. It's too good an idea, and someone, even someone who seems to be a friend, will steal it." All I could think was that my mother was really going off the deep end here to make such a melodrama out of a simple school assignment. Come on. The next day, my best friend met me on the corner, as always, and we walked to class together. He asked me what I was thinking about for the paper in question. A tiny bell rang in my head, that would be my mother, for just half a beat, and ignoring it completely, I told him about the 10 Commandments and world peace. He didn't seem to react at all, unless you could call a deep silence a reaction. We wrote our pieces and handed them in as required a few weeks later, and then shortly after that, a very peculiar thing happened. Our teacher said that he thought everyone had written very good essays, but there was one in particular that was head and shoulders above all the others, not only for how well it was executed, but for the originality and scope of the concept itself. Well, my shoulders were thrown back and I was fairly blushing with pride. Then he called on my friend to read his essay about world peace and the 10 Commandments, and I felt like I'd been hit in the head with an axe. When my so-called friend finished reading, the teacher then went into a high moral tirade about some other classmate whose shame had copied and plagiarized my friend's wonderful, brilliant piece, but in a terribly inferior way, and that while the teacher was not going to name him, that person knows who he is and should be very, very ashamed of himself. All I could think was how ashamed I was for not heeding my mother's wisdom. Why I didn't protest, tell the teacher and all the students what insanity this episode represented, or what a fraud and thief and dishonorable excuse for a friend, my alleged friend, was, I don't know. By the time we were 17, I pretty well finished with this guy. Never talked to him for many, many years. I saw him once or twice when we were in our 50s, and he was just a boring schmo and had really nothing to do with him. Pickle, listen to your mother. She can always spot the fake in the crowd.